Hey guys, Don Young from 1331 Studios here, and I really think we need to talk about the current state that YouTube's in. So right off the bat, this year's kind of been batshit crazy. We started off this year with the Wall Street Journal taking shots at PewDiePie, not only attempting to destroy his reputation, but they actually managed to get YouTube and Google to cut ties with him. And it was all caused by some cherry-picked, out-of-context propaganda created by the Wall Street Journal. And honestly, this should have been our first warning that this year was going to get a little bit crazy. So after the PewDiePie thing died down, about a month later, everyone started to realize, hey, how come my videos aren't visible in restricted mode, even though there's nothing really bad about them going on? I mean, I'm honestly just talking to a camera, and for some reason it's cut? YouTube came out and said, well, it's kind of a glitch. We'll try our best to fix it. If you've ever dealt with YouTube in the past, you know this is a pretty skeptical situation, and everyone should probably just cross their fingers, because every time YouTube makes a change, it breaks something. But the drama doesn't end there. Not even a week later, a bunch of companies start pulling all of their ads off of YouTube. AT&T, Verizon, Johnson & Johnson, and it was because they don't want to have accidental affiliation with things like terrorism and hate speech. And then YouTube was like, yo, we'll allow your distribution of the ads to be more customizable so you can have selection of who they get distributed to. And anybody knows, as soon as YouTube gets it in their heads that they're going to change a part of the system, the algorithm, everything, something is going to break. I know I already said that, but this is... That then spawned the hashtag YouTube is over party movement, and oh my god, this whole thing is just a mess. About 3 years ago, I made a video about censorship talking about how the viewer is the one that's responsible for what they're watching, and I still very much believe that. But because of the mixture of the social justice movement and YouTube wanting to look good to as many advertisers as it can, we're getting this weird feeling of censorship on YouTube going on that we haven't felt before. And I don't want to make it seem like I'm attacking the social justice movement, because I'm not. I don't like making controversy. I don't like starting controversy. The thing is, the social justice movement is the only thing that is connecting all of these situations together. So let's go over it from the top. So when Felix was attacked by the Wall Street Journal, they didn't come after him for his antics. They didn't come after him for, you know, how ridiculous he can be. They went after him because he's a Nazi? What? I'm not even going to bring up the question of, does context matter? I'm just going to use math to show you how ridiculous the Wall Street Journal is for even trying to make this a thing. As of recording this video, Felix currently has 3,142 videos up on his PewDiePie channel. And let's be generous to the Wall Street Journal and say, hey, maybe about 100 of those have some sort of Nazi something in them, whether it's a joke, whether it's whatever. You know, let's say 100 videos have some sort of Nazi something in them. So now that we've established that, let's pretend for a minute that the 3,142 videos that Felix has made are like his collective digital life. Like that is him as a digital form. Now, I know that's not entirely accurate because there's a lot of editing and cutting going on, but just for the sake of the point, just go with me on this one. Now, what we're going to do is we're going to take those 100 Nazi videos that we established earlier, and we're going to divide it by the total amount of videos that he's ever made, which is 3,142 as I've been over. And then we're going to multiply that by 100, and we're going to get a percentage of how Nazi is Felix. And what is our total? 3.18%. Now that is rounded, but still, that's like less than 5% Nazi. And yes, I get that this is an abstract way to determine who a person is, but that's kind of the point. Even when you break it down on a mathematical nonsense level, it's still preposterous to think that Felix is even a little bit Nazi-ish. And honestly, anybody ever who has made over 3,000 videos is somewhere along the line going to say something slightly offensive. Like, it's almost impossible to make that much content and not make something somebody's going to get offended by. My big issue with all of this is that there are way bigger douchebags on YouTube that Wall Street Journal could be going after. There are actual neo-Nazis. There's fucking Keemstar. Sorry, Keemstar. I love your business ethic. I fucking hate you as a person. You are like the worst. So it really bugs me when they go after somebody who has donated a shit ton of money to charity, who has been nothing but a positive influence on the YouTube community up until this recent thing where you wanted to just make him out to be the bad guy. And he's always come across as a nice guy. And what's really sad is that Disney and Google decided to separate over this. And I don't entirely blame them, but at the same time, it's like, how much confidence do you have in your own platform? But this sort of leads me into my next point in that How does YouTube even really decide who the assholes of YouTube are? And by that, I mean the restricted system is bullshit. So if you've heard anything about the restricted system, it's more than likely you've heard that it's been really affecting the LGBT community. And to be honest, it really is. It's heavily affecting them. But it's also affecting a shit ton of other people as well. It's affecting vloggers, gamers, and I've even seen a couple concert videos and like travel and tourism type videos all be under restricted, and I couldn't understand why at all. Just to give you an example, here's my channel. Just regular videos, whatever, I have it open up, blah, blah. Now here it is in restricted view. I only have 3 videos available in restricted view, and I don't know why. And I'm not the only one within my circle of friends who's dealing with this. Here's my friend's channel. And here's my friend's channel in restricted. He's only got 2 videos. Now, it wouldn't be so bad if YouTube would put out a statement on what causes restricted videos to happen. And it also wouldn't be so bad if there was a little rhyme or reason to what was going on. But it's happening so randomly, you can't really peg down what makes a video restricted. Like, I don't get why these 2 songs, I don't get why 2 songs aren't restricted, but the rest of the songs on the album are. There isn't much of a tonal difference, there isn't much of an emotional or atmospherical difference, there isn't even really much of a lyrical difference because I wrote that whole album thematically, so they're kind of all interconnected in some sort of way, so I'm not really sure what the hell the restricted algorithm even is. It's sort of like there's just a kid sitting behind a like giant, keyboard going and just it's flicking videos restricted at random. And my biggest fear with all this is that restricted may become the norm. And I know what you're thinking. That will never happen, Dalton. You're crazy. But you see, here's where it starts to get kind of scary. YouTube and Google are in kind of a tight spot right now. Advertisers are bailing like crazy. Advertisers really want them to correct the ad distribution system. And if they don't, they could potentially lose millions or even billions of dollars. And honestly, you can kind of bet that they're going to prioritize what the companies want over what the YouTube content creators and viewers want. And the sad part is it's not even really YouTube's fault. It's kind of a catch-22 situation. If they side with the bigger companies, they're going to alienate content creators and viewers alike and make them kind of not want to support YouTube. But if they support YouTube content creators and viewers, companies aren't going to want to drop ads, and then nobody will be able to make money, and then nobody will want to advocate for the platform anyway. No matter what YouTube does here, they're kind of gonna have to screw somebody over. So that leaves us in a very precarious situation with a very unstable future ahead of us. There kind of is a silver lining to all this. So this is a chance for all the companies like Loot Crate and Dollar Shave Club, the ones that like to directly work with the YouTuber, to come out and be like, yo, we got your backs. Like, here's some money, do some stuff, whatever. And maybe someday in the future, that would allow us to totally abandon the AdSense program altogether, because YouTube's kind of screwing us over with it anyway. Like, wouldn't it just be nice if we could pull a Philip DeFranco, and when YouTube flips us the middle finger, we have to flip them off right back? I'm Dalton Young from 1331 Studios. I hope this wasn't too ranty. Thanks for watching. It's still preposterous to think that Felix is even a little bit Nazi-ish.